just wondering how you're balancing, I suppose, the emotions of this week being your last in camp with this team, and I suppose the focus on what's to come tomorrow night.
Yeah, I guess a lot of my energy and my thought and all my thoughts have just been on Saturday, really, preparing for, the best Springboks side we'll face, and that's about getting into my book, but also, had a really good day off with the boys as well, and understanding it's our last week together, just soaking all of that up. But the start of the week was just about putting everything into this week, leaving no stone unturned, and where the mind goes, the body will follow. So for me, it's preparing mentally just as much as physically.
And what has this week kind of meant to you, meant to the other departing players, I suppose, to have this occasion upon you against the Springboks, a team you guys, obviously love playing against? What has this kind of week and this occasion meant to you and the other departing players?
To be honest, I haven't really touched on those that are leaving or the last. It's all been about how can we influence the outcome of this game, and that's been the same for me. It's everyone's in their different chapter of their journey. For me, this is a way to make history. I want to be part of history. I want to bring a World Cup home. And whatever happens after that, to be honest, I don't really care at this stage. All my focus and energy is on Saturday night. So I'm sure a lot of the other boys are like that too. And we'll touch on that in good time about players leaving and whatnot. But Saturday night, 9 o'clock is where it's at.
Hi, Andy Bull from The Guardian. We hear a lot of talk from South Africa about the strength they draw from representing the Rainbow Nation, and I understand you guys won't need any more motivation for this weekend, but could you talk to us a bit about where you draw your strength from as a team? Is it a sense of history, a sense of playing for each other? What kind of forces do you guys use?
Yeah, good question, because part of the challenge is to discover that for yourself, and for us as a team. But I think we get it from I guess the history and the legacy of the jersey is massive for us, and the people who have walked the journey that we've walked are pretty special, and then you expand that out to our country, because it's the All Blacks have always had a special place in New Zealanders' heart, and the amount of support we've got from our country has been quite overwhelming. I think we're generally a conservative bunch. We're generally a little bit cynical at times. We show our love and support by criticising, and yet it's swung around a little bit, and suddenly there's a lot of excitement from our country. So I think we get it from the people we represent, our families, and our past would be critical. But I guess the other group that's and has by no means less than those other ones is just when we shut the door and we sit in a circle, it's that group of people there, and massively motivated to meet the standards that we've set ourselves, and quite high motivation. Thank you.
Will, one for you. Still as a young man, first World Cup, is it still a pinch yourself moment, a day or two out from a final?
It is a little bit, to be fair. I think particularly the last couple of weeks have really kind of flown by. Didn't feel like that long ago we were back in pool play, getting ready for these knockout stages. So the last couple of weeks for both myself and a lot of other guys who haven't been here before have been awesome experiences, and I guess over the next probably 24 or so hours really start to hit home. You're in a final and just mentally kind of prepping for the stage that it is, but it's where you want to be. So we're very excited by it, and it'll definitely be a huge occasion for us all tomorrow night.
Rather than nerves?
I think at this stage it's been more excitement. I think the closer you get to the game, the more the nerves kind of kick in. But we've been working away pretty quietly at our hotel, kind of a little bit out of Paris. So you've kind of missed a bit of the hype around it, I guess. We've just been working away quietly preparing. So we obviously feel the energy back home that they're giving us, and I think the closer you get to kick off, those nerves sort of come in, and then it's always nice getting into the warm-up and into the game, and just letting it play out.
Kia ora, boys. Just got a question for Will and Richie. Let's talk about the haka. Does the haka enhance the mana of your performance on the field?
Pass it on to the haka. He's one of our haka specialists, Jill.
There's plenty of heat coming from the back row where I'm standing, but the haka is obviously a really important piece to us. It's like Foz touched on before. It's a huge part of our legacy and representing our people, and it does bring the group together. It's our last kind of thing as a group we do together before we play. So there's a special kind of feeling in that. And Nagi's been doing a great job as kind of our leader of that. So we definitely draw a lot of power from it, and I guess it's a nice way to kind of finish your preparations off and get ready to go.
Sweet. And just the last question. There's been a lot of support coming through. I don't know if you guys have seen, the Morning Shift have uploaded their All Blacks Rev Up video. Have you guys seen it, and has it given you hype for this match?
Yeah, we've seen it. It's just been awesome. Their video plus thousands of others that we've seen, along with schools doing Blackout Fridays. It's just real overwhelming for us. We wish we could get back to every single one of them and say we feel the love and support, but we really do, and we really feel that our country is behind us. And for us as players and coaches and management, we just want to do our best to represent all the Kiwis back home. And for us, that means a lot to see that support and love, and to be over here in Paris and France on the world stage representing Kiwis is something pretty special.
Hey, Richie, one for you. Just wondering if you'd sort out any advice from a playmaker. Dan Carter, I know, has been around the group this year about what it means to play in a Rugby World Cup final, or do you remain confident in what you know and trust your own game?
You have been really lucky to have players floating in and out of camp, and to be able to lean on them for advice. And I think the main thing that keeps coming out of those players that have been here before is they're all similar. It's doing your job and doing it at a high quality and with high intent. And I think in a team like the All Blacks, that's all that requires. And under the most pressure, being able to do that time and time again is what this team needs you to do. So I think, for me to hear that over and over again, it just confirms that whether it's a final, pool play game, club footy, I just got to go out there and do my job for the team.
Ian, how valuable have those former players you brought in this year been to what you've done in this program?
Oh, massive. How could they not be the special people and the people involved, and some of them have been visible, I guess, to the public. Some of them have been invisible in terms of behind the scenes. So, but just the support and the passing on, I guess, the passing of the baton of a few things that they've learnt is a pretty special situation for us to be in. And it's not just for the players, it's for management as well. And just a reminder of the standards needed and expectations, but also an understanding that you're not alone when you go out there. And what I've loved is that they haven't made the team heavy, they've actually lightened the team. They've actually helped the boys just go and trust what they do. And because really there's no magic formula, is there, apart from got a bunch of very talented young men who play with all their heart for their country, and the key thing is that they just go out there and feel empowered to do what they do really, really well, and that's the goal tomorrow.
Question for Jan. You already told about experienced players. You have the most experienced players in your squad, like Sam Whitelock. What did he represent for your team in such a week? And he will play his third final of World Cup. And how he is every day in such a week?
Yeah, look, I think we've got a great balance of people that have been there and people that haven't been there, you know, and when you ask the group to put their hand up if this is their first World Cup final or first World Cup full stop, you know, more than half the team put their hand up, and that includes some of the management, and so we've got a great mixture. So, you know, the ability to have people that have been there to pass on some learnings has been special. But the real message is that the experienced players have passed on, like Sammy and Dane Coles, those sort of people, it's not spoken, it's just done. It's about actions. It's just showing how to prepare, how to deal with the pressure, and those people have done a fantastic job, and Sam's a massive example of that. And you know, it's been a highlight reel of achievements for him, hasn't it, the last 5 or 6 weeks. But I got asked, I remember getting asked in this media conference a few weeks ago, what else can he achieve? And I said, well, be the first man to win 3 would be pretty special. And you know, we would feel a lot of honour if that happened.
G'day guys. Just a question for all three of you, really. You obviously don't get to experience a week like this every week. It's different, right? Can you just take us behind the scenes and I suppose give us a bit of an insight and share with us what are the sort of unique memories and experiences you'll take away from this week, regardless of what happens tomorrow night?
Left to right, eh? Or bookends to the middle?
Whatever you like.
Yeah.
I think for me, probably the main thing's just been around from his left. Yeah. Just been around like the number of messages we've kind of received from people, whether it's, you know, old coaches you have when you're younger, family, friends, people you don't know, just wishing you all the best, and just shows the amount of support got behind us. So to kind of see and feel that will be the biggest kind of take home I think I'll take from it.
I think when I look back, I just will appreciate the friendships that I've made on this tour. People only really see the game on Saturday, but I guess the connections and the bonds that we share with not only players but management, and you know, just great laughs. You know, it's just like being on camp sometimes with your friends. You know, pranks and just joking around, coffees, feeds, or kava, like that stuff to me energizes me and is a huge reason, you know, why I want to try so hard for the person next to me, is those connections. So I'll miss that, and I think I'll remember that the most, and hopefully looking back, Saturday night will be the game of my life, and that will be something I'll be looking at saying, you know, it's the biggest achievement in my rugby career. So, yeah.
Over here in the corner, Ian. Can I ask you, sorry.
Ian, have you got any
The answer is the people. You always remember the people. It's always about the people. It's always about going through you're walking the same path with people, and just how we all react to it. And hard to, you know, I don't really want to use examples because everyone goes through the emotive side of preparing and dealing with the pressure and dealing with the excitement, and it's how we do it. And there's a mixture of laughter and techniques and seriousness, and that's the beauty of being part of a group.
Can I ask you which areas of the game do you think are going to be decisive tomorrow night?
Set piece will be massive, and if you look at previous World Cups, the execution of your roles in that area has always been critical, and we know for us it's an area we've got a lot of confidence in our game, and so I think that for all the pressure, for all the different occasions, rugby is quite a simple game. Philosophically, is that you have to do well on your own ball. You have to control the set piece. If you don't do well on that, and I don't just mean the forward stuff. I mean the forward back connection and how you use the ball that you get in those early phases. So I think I reckon that's a key part of it. And then after that, there's how you deal with each team's strengths. So that they'll be trying to deal with our strengths and trying to figure out how to negate them, and we have to try to deal with their strengths to make sure that they just don't go into that comfortable space that they could just play that type of game against us. So both teams in the same camp with that mode, and that's what I love about it.
Alex Spink from the Daily Mirror. Question for Richie and Will. Could you just put into words the journey that this team has been on from a year out, even at Twickenham 9 weeks ago, written off an All Black team, and here you are at the World Cup final. It's been a fairly extraordinary journey for those of us on the outside who haven't seen it. Can you just kind of flesh it out a little bit, how difficult it's been to turn it around, to put yourself in position to achieve what you want to?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think in terms of the end of the question around how difficult has it been, is that hasn't been that difficult because there's been a huge amount of drive to turn it around and get it right. Like Richie touched on, there's a special group here, and we've always been committed towards being the best team we could be, and I think definitely some pretty tough times, particularly in 2022 last year, where things went a bit astray, but we've sort of come out of the fire of that. And I guess the big thing for us now is that consistency's kind of been found a little bit, and we've been able to put back-to-back performances together, which was probably what was missing before. So again, that's a challenge for us tomorrow night, is to be able to go 3 good games in a row, and that'll be kind of the hallmark of where we're at. So it's been a challenging period, but I think it's held us in good stead, and where we want to be now. So
as Jill said, it's been some journey. I think we've just been really motivated to fill this black jersey, and we have players and coaches that just want to see the potential in this team. And I think with getting little blocks in our game right, I think a big part of our DNA and what makes this team tick and what makes us play the footy we want to play, and how we can do that at a high quality for 80 minutes has been a big part of that driver. And then, as I touched on before, the off-field stuff has created that bond on field too. And through all that, I think we'll look back and smile on what a journey it's been, and how exciting that it all comes down to this last game. And mindset was nerves going into that, and around sort of how daunting that can be. But we're really excited to put our best foot forward and give it a crack. And I think if we do that, we'll make ourselves proud.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below, or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.